but the conversation is about to begin. It's time for the Black and Gold Rush with Travis and Ross.
And we are off and running live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Not quite Travis and Ross, but a huge upgrade this week as we get Tyler Kluver to come in. What an amazing day. Tyler, this one was, touch and go. This game starts off with a couple of big Hawkeye mistakes, some uncharacteristic mistakes, timely, that allowed Penn State to take an early lead. And Hawks end up fighting back, get a nice win, 25-24. I saw somebody in the comment section already say it. Win by an inch, win by a mile. It is a win for the Hawkeyes tonight. A huge win, even though, this was a game that it isn't necessarily going to vault the Hawkeyes up the rankings. Man, for confidence, for morale, for the rest of this season, not just for the fan base, but for that team, an awesome win for the Hawkeyes today. First of all, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. I told you right before we hopped on here, for my 20s, Ross, I got to live that life. No kids, right? Most of them. 28, baby number one comes along. Many of the listeners of our podcast know who Ken Diesel is, my little girl Kinley. And then this past June, Brooks came along. And for all those with kids, you included, you can't avoid the sickness. So
it comes around, man. And you had two sick kids yesterday. You weren't able to join us on the show,
which I was super bummed about because we had a really cool conversation queued up for the punt returner conversation, the biggest freak conversation stemming from Thursday.
So you knew all about it.
Yeah, I was ready. Ross had me ready for the conversation. I was like, man, I got to stay home with these two kids. So obviously babies come first. I now have the sickness. I might sound a little deeper than I usually do, but my spirits are much higher than they could have been. Wow. What a game. There is so much to say, and I'm sure it will all be said over the course of the next 2 hours. I'm super stoked to be back with the Rush audience one more time. Love being around here and co-hosting. I'm a better lookalike for Travis's stand-in than I am for you. Bald, obviously.
Yeah.
And man, I'm looking at the ESPN kind of, the box score and all that stuff. 3-4 Penn State Nittany Lions, 0-4 in the Big Ten.
0-4 in the Big Ten, dude. The
great.
And this is not, this team was a preseason top 5 team.
And we saw why. There's a lot of talent on that team.
And I was worried about that. And we'll probably get into all of this as we get going tonight. But I was worried about this, James Franklin being gone from that team. I was more confident with him as their head coach last Sunday. Okay, I'm glad to hear you say that too, because I saw what UNLV did once they got rid of Foster and their offensive coordinator. Man, there's something when you get to say, hey, guys, go out there and just be yourselves. Go out there, let's take the, what is it, throw the or unleash the dog here, and go out there and just play football and have fun. And I do think we saw a little bit of that. Grunkenmeyer was a much better quarterback than I thought he was going to be, or maybe better than I feared. I'd say that because he came in, he looked confident early on. I do think at some point that defense kind of shocked him a little bit, and I think that noise inside of Kinnick Stadium got to him a bit as well. So fun, great game for the Hawkeyes. Nice win. We can get to the phone calls if you want, man. We can try to save your voice as much as possible.
Oh, yeah. If my voice goes, it's not a big deal. Sundays are chill, but I am excited tonight. I'll be honest, Ross. I've done a few of these call-in shows. You've done more than me, and God, 1 point can make a whole hell of a difference for 2 hours.
It makes all the difference in the world, dude. Now we're still going to get some, there's still going to be a lot of people that want to point out a lot of the flaws in today, and that's what this show is really for. It really is for that because. This helps us kind of process everything. We've always kind of looked at it as a 2-hour therapy session, right? Where you get to come in here, and by the end of it, you've had every thought you could possibly have about the game, and that really does seem to help. A guy that helps us get going several weeks, and he always gets us thinking. Sometimes he's a little bit more upset than we hope for, but let's start the show off with John calling in from New Jersey. John, thanks a lot for giving us a call, buddy. How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, Ross. And I remember back when you were on WHO on Sound Off that you had said, or no, it was a DM. Sometime you and I are going to have to do one of these.
Yeah, that'd be fun, John.
I would love to fly out there and just let it rip.
Our listeners might hate it after a few hours, but I'd love it.
Yes. The listeners might hate it. Travis could probably take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Kluver would probably just leave it. You would enjoy it. But we're fellow Jan Michelson fans. So
yes, we are.
Probably get along.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into it. Just found a stat that Mark Gronowski is the first quarterback in the Big Ten since Denard Robinson in 2011 to have a rushing touchdown in 7 straight games.
Wow.
And
what did they call him? Was it shoelace, shoestring?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was shoelace.
Yeah.
Because I think it was shoelace. Because didn't he play without?
He didn't tie his shoes, right?
Yeah, and he didn't need to. Let me tell you.
That's a good point too, right?
He, I think I play against him in 2013. I think I did.
What I thought was interesting in this game, and I don't know about you, but to see so this is the ebb and flow. I work for a national logistics company on Saturday. You guys know that, and I'm listening to the game, and I'm like, we literally just turned the ball over at our 35. They get 2 fourth downs. We're offsides. They get the touchdown. And I'm like, here we go. Iowa's going to Iowa. We're the New York Jets of college football. Here we go. Then we kick a field goal. I'm like, all right, we're down 7-3. And then I get frustrated, and I'm like, I'm just going to shut this off. Then we get a touchdown, and I get it pushed to my phone. I'm like, that's good.
Yep.
And then a 66-yard field goal. I'm like, we're not even going to go for it on 4th down because that's not Kirk playing the percentages. But a 66-yarder, I'm like, we won't go for it on 4th down, but we'll kick a 66-yard field goal where you have to kick it lower to have longer trajectory, and they take it back for a touchdown. I was done.
You know,
then
John,
I see that we're down 21-10.
John, let's stop. Let's just stop there for that. Let's stop there on the 66-yard field goal for just a moment, okay, buddy? Because I was sitting with my brother-in-law, and he absolutely nailed it. Because the block field goal happens, they're running it back, and he looks at me and he goes, "Man, that's one of those situations where normally Hawkeye fans are pissed off because Kirk Ferentz doesn't try something, and then he tries something, and this happens." And I thought that's a good point. And honestly, when they lined up for the 66-yard field goal, I literally said, I'm glad they're doing this. I'm glad they're at least giving it a shot. So that's the 66-yard field goal, I think, is one of those things we're probably going to talk about a bit tonight as a fan base.
Well, if I could trade it, like I said a couple weeks ago, if I could trade a 66-yard field goal for, I don't know, going deep at least once in 2009 at Ohio State, with 1:30 left and 2 timeouts at your own 35.
Not that he's holding on to anything.
Outright. Not that I'm bitter. Not that I'm bitter. Good Lord. We get down 21-10, and I'm like, they're 3 and 4. And then this is what you guys have talked about. Tyler talked about it. You guys have talked about it on the Rush. This is a team that has a bunch of talent. They're snake bit right now, but they're going to come in with nothing to lose and everything to prove. And they're up 21-10, and I'm like, are we really going to let these guys win? Damn it. We're giving up 3rd downs. We're not tackling well in space. And then that touchdown to get us off the schneid, and it's 21-16. But my point was this. We do not win this game without that 67-yard rush by Gronowski up the middle with less than 4 minutes left. And just to let every Hawkeye fan know, you're literally watching the NCAA winningest quarterback in college football history, whether in FBS or FCS, Division II or Division III, and you paid him over $1 million to make a freaking play like that. Deep Dish Deacon Hill doesn't make that. Spencer Petras doesn't make that.
See, why we gotta kill?
Doesn't make that.
Why we gotta kill the other quarterbacks?
Because our quarterback play has been crap for 5 years. That's why. That is why.
But John,
and this game, I am so glad that we had him on our team.
Amen.
And that Drew Aller is off.
Nate Stanley doesn't make that.
I was just like, now every game, I would love to be in this type of a nut-cutting situation where it's like, okay, 5-2. If we have to come down and I'm biting my nails And I'm like, are we going to win this? I want this type of nut-cutting atmosphere every game from now on, because we play to not only to win the game, you play for a championship. You control your destiny now. Just fucking do it. And I'm looking forward to this every stretch of the way. That was a nut-cutting game that they needed. We've lost 11 straight to ranked opponents, and I would have been so afraid if we do not win this game, what would have happened to the fan base.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad that we don't have to go down that road.
John,
so,
thanks,
thank you guys.
Thanks for the call, buddy. Thanks for getting us going. That is and that's kind of what I was saying to start the show about the fan base, the morale of the fan base. That's a big part of this win, because if we lose this game to a currently winless Penn State team, even though they were a top 5 preseason team, it would have been easy to look at the rest of the season and go, oh man. And now I do think, Tyler, and I know you're a player, dude. This is why we love having you on. That fan in me, I'm such a dummy. I say this all the time. I always think what I just saw is what I'm going to see. And so I project out. And if they would have lost this game today, I would have been looking at the rest of the season going, oh, man. And it would have depended on how they lost. If let's just say Gronowski doesn't make that play. They don't end up making that drive. However this works out. Penn State gets into field goal range, kicks. Gosh, because we were that close. Penn State gets into field goal range, kicks that. It would have changed my my mood a lot as well. So thanks for getting us started on that, John. Appreciate that. I don't like the hating on the previous quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, I don't either. That's but those guys have taken a lot worse. He's not wrong. Sure. Those two don't make that play. But I'm sure a lot of people would have enjoyed having Nate Stanley or a few other quarterbacks that were pretty good that probably don't make that play with their legs either. So you can play the what if game all the time. And everyone who's in here and has followed me, you too, Ross, I am the optimist. And I look at the other side. We should have, if we don't gift them we didn't, it's tough to control the bounce of the ball. We gifted them the one right before half. If we don't gift them 14 points, and you can argue more, we just win this game by 3 scores. Like there's the other side of this too. And I was sitting there, I had some similar emotions as John out in New Jersey. I was sitting there on the couch. We start the game, couple plays in, tip ball. It's like Iowa State all over again. We can't get it to fall in our hands. It goes in their hands. And I'm like, oh my God. Can we just get, if there is a God, can he be on our side one time tonight? Hey, and he came through.
Yeah.
We got the karma back with the X pick. So then I felt like then I felt like the karma was even. But again, you could go back and forth all night. It's funny, I would have considered the season completely differently that you talk about. Nebraska last night. There's a bunch of Penn State fans who, after a couple days of hoop and hollering of who's going to be our next guy, you start to see him like, I'm coming around on Coach Rule, right? Then he goes and gets stomped, just owned. PJ Fleck is their dad. And they're like, just kidding. Don't want him. One game. Matt Rule's the same guy. Other than that one result, he has the same record at Nebraska and the previous places. He's got the same style, the same philosophy, the same way that he recruits. But one game, and everyone's like, wait a second, no, I'm actually out because he lost this game on a Friday night to Minnesota at Minnesota. Like, it's just the flipping and flopping back and forth. It is what it is. It's what makes fans great and call-in shows like this great. And it's why we continue to show up for the jersey, because the games and the game of football in general will draw you in and just you're hooked. It's like drugs.
Yeah, it is like drugs. You're right about that. We're all chasing the high. Kevin's going to get us, keep it going here, calling in from Neola and Tri-Center. Kevin, how are you, man?
What's up, boys? Hey, where's Travis?
Travis is doing the scare away cancer thing tonight. So we had people in the chat that thought maybe he wasn't here because Nebraska lost and he didn't want to have to, Husker Trav was going to have to come in and face the fire. Promise that wasn't the deal. He's got his scare away cancer thing. And he lied to us. Kevin, can I tell you real quick? He actually, he didn't lie to us. He had told me that he was going to go as Charlie Brown. He's like, yeah, Aunt Jeanette's out of town. Haven't really had a time to plan a costume. And so I'm just going as Charlie Brown. And then Aunt Jeanette sent me a video. Dude, he went all out. He's like a witch. So anyway, we'll probably get a phone call or something from him at some point. If we do that, we'll be able to chat with him. But yeah, he's going doing his charity thing with Scare Away Cancer in Omaha tonight.
Love it. Hey, I'm gonna be straight up front. I was ready to call into the show, pissed off. I'm over here making a goddamn old fashioned, pissed off. And you know what? We're chasing the points. Down 11. I didn't think we had a shot. I was mad. I was over here making angry old fashions. And you know what? Gronowski put the team on his back. The defense did what the defense does. Man, I'm gonna need some crow tonight. I was mad. And you know what? We got it done. We got old Washed-Up Walk-on over here. Just, Mr. Positivity. He's right. He's got us this week. The team got it done. I couldn't be more proud this week. We got it done. I'm so happy to be a Hawkeye. Let's go.
Kevin, I was making old fashions for my dad during the game. Give me your old fashioned recipe.
All right, so I'm a old school. I throw a little sugar cube. I muddle it. I throw a little bitters. I throw a lot of bitters, actually. I'm a big bitters guy.
Yeah.
I throw a bunch of bitters in there. I muddle the shit out of that.
Yeah.
I throw a little bit of whiskey in there. I'm not too picky about my whiskey. Early times is good. Throw a little early times in there. I muddle it up. I throw a big ass ice cube in there. Stir it up a little bit. Throw a cherry on top. Hawkeyes get a win. Defense plays some damn football. Gronowski runs the damn ball. Let's go. Let's go Hawks. Let's go Hawks.
Love the passion, Kevin. Thank you so much, man.
That's it right there. That is why. That's why it's one of the greatest sports in the world. Is something about college football gets people just latched in.
5-1. Oh yeah, dude, it's a drug. It's a drug. There's no better comparison for it. We're all kind of hooked to it. Even when it makes us feel bad, we can't wait for the next hit we get.
It's a little bit of a you pretty much ask anyone in any fan base and ask them to explain their relationship with the team that they follow.
Yeah.
99% of the time, you could just take away the football components of that, and it sounds like they're just describing a bad ex.
Yeah, an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it's good sometimes. When it's good, man.
Yeah.
And then when it's bad, yeah, it's funny. It's hilarious. I love that passion though. I feel the same way, and I'm on the far end of that. I don't get riled up, especially when I'm sick.
Well, you're also. I'm amazed that you even know that this is like a drug. Have you ever done a drug in your life?
No, I haven't. Well, no. If you can't, do you count Adderall?
Me neither, Kluver. Me neither. 515-517-2303. Let's go to North Liberty, where Aaron is joining the conversation. Aaron, thanks for calling the Black and Gold Rush. How are you, buddy?
Hey, how's it going, Ross? How's it going, Tyler? And to Tim out there, I know you're with us in spirit, so thank you for what you're doing with your charity and everything like that for the cause. So how's everybody doing?
We're doing great, buddy.
Fantastic.
Yeah, thanks for mentioning that, man. How'd you feel about the Hawks tonight?
Well, honestly, I have so many things that are just on my mind. Of course, I'm happy about the win. There's no question about that in my mind. But I also feel a little disillusioned a little bit because, I mean, I just don't understand. Like, as special as that was, the last time I saw somebody do any running like that was Brad Banks, and I'm just like, man. I mean, are we going to rely on this too much? So if there is another injury, because I still feel like I'm glad that there's a chance to have a winning season. But I mean, like, what is the end goal at this point? Because I mean, I'm looking at the schedule and I want to be optimistic, but I kind of only see like two more wins. And it's like, are we kind of getting back at that place where, okay, we have a winning season and the vibes are good right now, and we beat a Penn State team that is honestly down because of all the things going on. And a lot of the teams that we've beaten, you know, the record is either 500 or worse, or their teams are going through a lot of turnover in a lot of ways. You know, I mean, it's just, I feel like is there more than just like a 5, 6, 7 win plateau, a 6 or 7 win plateau, or 8 win plateau?
You mean for this team this year? Do you think do they get above 7 or 8? Is that what you're asking? Or do you mean yearly?
Because of, like I said, I'm glad that there's going to be a winning season potentially, but I just with a couple games, Like really, realistically, in my opinion, I realistically see Minnesota and Michigan State, and the rest of the teams. I think are either we're going into a hostile environment or they're ranked like in the top 15 or higher or 10 or higher. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now, and I'm just trying to.
Did you watch Nebraska play last night?
Yeah.
No, they did, and obviously Minnesota, but that's the thing. We got that opponent coming up, So I think that's a win, but I'm like, okay, is it going to be where we're relying on our quarterback to run 130 yards when honestly we don't, really have an air attack like I've been dreaming of us having,
So let me make you feel better. Let me try to help you a little bit, Aaron, to give you some optimism here. Okay, I'm going to try to sprinkle some Tyler Kluver onto you here for a minute. You got to remember that tonight you didn't. If you hadn't had a few things go the wrong way, that initial interception that ends up giving him a short field and a touchdown. You have the blocked field goal that ends up being another touchdown. There's 14 points. And those things were atypical for this Hawkeye team. And also they had that stop on fourth down, but they were called for the offsides, the defensive offsides. So you really had a couple of uncharacteristic things that happened to the Hawkeyes.
A lot.
There you go.
Agreed.
That led to where you had to have that 130 yards of rushing. So I don't think they're in a position where you're looking at this like, man, you got to get Mark Gronowski to run for 130 yards to beat a team by 1 point.
Oh, I don't want that. No,
yeah, and I don't think you need it.
Like that.
It's nice that you have a guy that can do that for you.
And that's the thing too. I just feel like at the end of the day, to your point, I just like Phil Parker is everything to this team. I hope people realize just how fantastic he is and what he does with that defense to just flat out cover up a lot of stuff.
Listen, I want to, and I also want to talk to Aaron. I want to get to some other calls because they're stacking up here, but I want to also just challenge you a little bit here as a Hawkeye fan on that 7-win thing that you say, because I agree with you. Next week, Minnesota, that's going to be a tough game. I like the Hawkeyes' chances at home against Minnesota. Oregon, the week after that, Oregon's really damn good. They're really good.
Right.
I like our chances at USC. I know that's a really good football team as well. I know going west sucks, but I shouldn't say I like. I shouldn't say I like chances.
Yep.
Yeah, I shouldn't say I like the chances at USC, but I'm not going to put the pen and mark an L next to that game. And dude, I think the Hawks beat Michigan State and Nebraska to end the season.
USC's about to lose.
USC's about to lose.
Yeah.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. It's like we're getting back, and I know you got some calls. This will be the last thing I say tonight. But I just really feel like, okay, if we sit at this 7-8 win thing, I just feel like, okay, here's another cycle of, oh, it's a season where we get to a bowl and stuff. But I want so much more for this team too, because honestly, I'm thinking about the coaches that have held on, like the Bobby Bowdens back in the day. He held on for like 30 some years, and he's got like national titles and stuff. I mean, if we're gonna have a coach that people revere as far as the longevity, I want something to back that up to justify it. Not just for the sake of the fan base, but I think even for the sake of his legacy too. I know he said that. I know Kirk has said, and has gone on record to say, hey, I just wanted to be the best line coach I could be. And I respect the humbleness for that, but at the same time, if you're going to have that longevity, there should be something with that, and that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm glad
Aaron.
about the win, and I hope we keep it on. God bless everybody. Have a good one.
See you, buddy. Have a great weekend, and go Hawks. 515-517-2303. Let's go to our buddy Justin, who's calling in from Urbandale. Justin, thanks for the call into the Black and Gold Rush, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing well, guys. Hey, first thing, go Hawks.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That was a win, baby. Yeah. Second thing is, Penn State, Iowa always seems to end up at a weird score. 6-4, 25-24. It's like, you have to look at the box score to see how it actually, shook out.
Yeah, these games are always strange. There is something about Hawkeye Penn State games that are usually strange. That 9-6, 7-6 type of game, that they're odd. It always does seem, man. For years, we can say the same thing about the Iowa State game. Like, it always seems like those games are closer than we anticipate them to be. These games usually have something weird that happens with them. The Penn State Iowa games always seem to have a big highlight, a big play. And today, quite frankly, if Gronowski doesn't make that run, the thing that comes out of this is the blocked 66-yard field goal.
Whatever the storyline is going to be, the Hawks won, and they won against Penn State. I feel like there should be a trophy for this game, because there's a trophy for a lot of other games that we're rivals with, and Penn State, I would argue, is one of our rivals. So, I don't know. I don't care what happened with Penn State, and I love the Hawkeyes.
Justin's had a Saturday.
Good night, guys.
I know Justin. Justin's had a Saturday.
I have had a Saturday. I have. Yep.
As you should.
Hey, Tyler, you're being awful quiet tonight. So
he's got a sore voice. He's got a sore throat. So I'm trying to carry the water so that he doesn't feel like he has to speak a lot.
I was pulling KF's record up to give the last guy something for this legacy that he's got on.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Hey, Tyler's a game day player, and let me just tell you, Tyler, real quick before I let you guys go. My Ukrainian yellow peonies is doing just fine, and we got some blooms of the hibiscus over here on the other side.
Yeah, that brings joy to my heart, buddy. I
feel like you sent a prayer to your grandfather.
I did, yeah, and I if anything goes wrong, go somewhere else, because again, I don't know. I don't know.
I'm not going to hold you.
I know. I understand. I know you're joking. I love you.
Thanks, Justin.
Love you guys.
Go Hawks, bud. 515-517-2303. We'll get to a couple more before the top of the hour. Grant is calling in from Dallas, Texas. Grant, thanks for the call in from Dallas. How you doing, brother?
This is my Grant.
Oh, this is.
I'm doing great. I'm doing amazing. I just wanted to call in to support my dear friend Tyler Kluver, up late at night, well past his bedtime here, talking about the Hawks. I'm fired up about this win, and I just wanted to call in to ask a little bit about what you guys think of some of the members of the media who said that Mark Gronowski wasn't capable of having a fourth quarter, a game like he had today. They were saying he wasn't athletic enough. Maybe he just didn't have it in him, but I couldn't help but notice that when it came down to it today, Mark was able to do it. I appreciate you guys. I'm just going to hang up and listen. Thanks.
Thanks, Grant.
That's for anybody. So if anybody's interested in our show, that's our producer and third host, Grant.
Love it.
Yeah, Grant and I on some of our podcasts have, Grant similarly, probably challenges some stuff that I wouldn't challenge, but in a very like mild way. He's going to always lean optimistic as well. And we've had some conversations about some people in the media and the narratives that get spun, because a lot of people listen to guys like you and me, Ross, mostly you. Guys in the space. Think of all the podcasts that do Iowa podcasts, and everybody goes on Monday or Sunday to turn on your Iowa post-game recap. There's going to be a lot of them this week. And I get caught up in it too. I listen to other shows and I start to formulate my ideas or my opinions based on what other people say.
Yeah.
And so that's a with great power comes great responsibility. And I wasn't so sure. We both, me and Grant, weren't so sure after some stuff said earlier in the season. But it is funny, Grant or Mark, I mean, going back to the previous guy, like, what are we really going to rely on our quarterback to be? Hey, if he can do it,
right?
How about that play at the end there where he just like to seal the deal with 40 seconds left? He just pops it out there. Man, it feels pretty nice to have a guy who can just do that. Feels comfortable.
Dude, the naked bootleg
touchdown,
the Chuck Long naked bootleg. I was waiting for him to hold the ball up in the air.
I know, like, yeah, CJ Chuck Long, like he could have been one in the line there. Yeah, Grant's fantastic. He sounds like he's having a good Saturday too.
Yeah, well, Hawkeye fans should be having a good Saturday. I mean, that's and Travis and I. It does seem like doing this for several years. That's one of the things we try to get around to on games when the Hawkeyes win, and you still have fans that are calling in and angry about stuff. It's like, hey, if you can't be happy when you're winning, you're a real loser.
Oh, stamp of approval, 100% agree. It's one of the most irritating things. I know it happens. I also know that it's substance aided sometimes.
You got that.
You know,
got that right. Yep.
People get on a phone and they're like, I have my chance. I'm going to say everything I've thought this season. Let's go to one.
Let's go to Harlan, Iowa. Phone lines are locked up, and if you're trying to call in and it's busy, keep calling, and we'll get to you as soon as we can here. Monty is calling in from Harlan, Iowa. Monty, thanks for the call. How are you, sir?
Hey, guys. Doing well. Love the show. Love you guys.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate it.
Hey, just want to make a couple comments on the 66-yard field goal try. My son, who's a ag engineering at Iowa State, he's a senior, he called that right away. So you know what's going to happen, Dad? They're going to block that and they're going to run it back for a touchdown. So I think Kurt Ferentz needs to have maybe an ag engineering student on the roster. Pay him $100,000. He would love that job. So
I bet he would. I'd like that job.
Now, true story. $100,000, is that enough for an ag engineering student? I feel like he's probably got bigger fish out there.
Yeah.
Depends on what the bonus is. You know, probably get $100,000 bonus, including that, right, guys? So
yeah. No, Monty, that's Tyler. Let's talk about that for a second, since Monty brought it up here, and we're racing up towards the top of the hour for a second. What were your thoughts on that 66-yard field goal? You're a special teams guy. What did you see, or what did you think about it?
I love the call, and I'd do it again.
I like that.
And here's why. That was it was a low trajectory. You take a look at the line on that play. We got absolutely blown off the ball. Like I'm worried about a regular field goal, like from the 35 getting blocked with the penetration they got on that. Shouldn't happen, right? And if it doesn't happen, it's likely not blocked. Does the kick go in? Maybe, maybe not. I do know this. Everyone saw the first little practice one go 10 yards short, and they thought, oh no, he doesn't have the leg. But he's got the leg. They don't send him out there if they don't have the leg. I promise. When you hear the whistle and Drew takes that little practice, I was surprised it went that far. You usually just line it up, chip at 35, 40.
He just went through the motions so that it's kind of like a pitcher when timeout gets called and he's already into his windup. You still throw the pitch.
You also leave it short intentionally because then they throw a guy back there for a return and it takes one off the line of scrimmage on the rush.
Look at you! Look at you!
So let's chill the Rockets on Twitter, okay, everybody. He's got the leg now. I do it again. Run the odds on that play. What are the odds that they block it? They get the right penetration. They block it. It perfectly bounces up into the one guy that came off the edge. Yeah. You run that versus if you kick that 100 times, how many times Drew makes it? Drew making it, whatever number you deem it's worth it to kick it versus worth it to put him in risk of that scenario happening, those numbers happen when you play out that scenario. It's a very reactionary play because everybody after it happens goes, that's why we shouldn't have done it. But like you said, Ross, how many people would have said, how many people have booed in Kinnick because the Hawks just kneel it twice with 17 seconds and they run off into halftime and they're like, why don't we try something?
That's me. I was that guy booing from row 107 of section 101.
Yeah.
You can hear me.
Mike F says, no way he has the leg.
Fair.
Buddy, he has the leg. I promise. Seen him do it. In a game, a little different, but maybe more. He's got adrenaline. He's got the leg.
And I like that when the whistle did blow. I mean, Penn State coach was even pissed off about it that he had enough time to give that kick a shot.
It's technically a penalty.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a little game that you play as a specialist. When that's a delay of game.
I
penalty.
Didn't know that.
They never throw it. But that is a delay of game, and that's why coaches get mad when the specialists get the off and get a little chip shot, because those guys sit on the sidelines and see a ball go into a net. They don't get to see it go up and where that lands in between the uprights on their practice kicks. So you get one out there and you get to see it fly, makes all the difference in the world.
That's good, Tyler. Thanks so much. Monty, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it so much.
You bet. Yep. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks, buddy. Have a great week. 515-517-2303. Doug, Tom, Tanner, and Buster. You guys stay on hold.
Buster.
We'll be back in 1 minute to continue the Black and Gold Rush here live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
With the new Blackout Scratch ticket from the Iowa Lottery, you can win the game day experience of your dreams.
That'll be $5.
Enter for a chance to win a VIP experience cheering on the Hawkeyes from the Ironman Suite at Kinnick Stadium.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Back at it with the Black and Gold Rush here live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. And a big thanks to our buddy Gary Presnell. Be closing one with Gary this a couple weeks. I thought it was this week. We got one happening here pretty soon. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, if you're looking to refinance, get a hold of our buddy Gary Presnell. 515-517-2303 is the phone number. If you'd like to weigh in, Tyler Kluver is filling in for Travis Justice tonight. Travis is hosting his Scare Away Cancer event. So he's not just playing hooky on us. He's actually doing really important stuff tonight. Let's go to Denver, Colorado. We'll chat with Doug to get this 10 o'clock hour started. Doug, thanks for the phone call, sir. How you doing?
Thank you guys for taking my call. Ross, I want to give you a kudos. I love how you organize the show, the flow, verbally, how you organize the show. I just appreciate it very much.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Thank you.
I think one of the storylines, maybe the bigger storyline in my eyes, is how far Penn State has fallen from the beginning of the season in their ranking and their expectations. I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it. I'm not trying to take away anything from Iowa. Like you said, if Penn State wouldn't have, if I think I have this right, if Penn State wouldn't have capitalized on a few mistakes, they would have been down even more points.
Yeah.
I mean, what a fall from grace. Now here's where I'm going to get into the negative. We're still mediocre. This is not a huge win. This is just enough to get by and to prolong our mediocrity. We can't hang with Ohio State. We can't hang with Oregon. Maybe we can. We'll see. The game has to be played yet. But until we can hang with the big boys, I don't have a whole lot of hope. I'm tired of prolonging the inevitable. So we win the little games or the insignificant games just enough so it looks like we have a good season, but we don't do anything with the big boys.
How many big boys are there in your
Get
opinion?
into the not very many in the Big Ten.
Two?
Two.
How many are in the SEC?
Definitely more.
Four?
More. M-O-R-E.
Okay.
I haven't paid a whole lot of attention to the SEC, so I can't talk on it with a whole lot of
Let's call it six.
confidence. But
So let's see. So Doug, let's even back up a little bit. Who are the two big dogs in the Big Ten?
Ohio State and Oregon.
Where's Indiana falling?
And Indiana falls in there too. Correct.
Iowa was tied with them with a minute and a half left.
Should have won.
90 seconds left in that game. The Hawkeyes were tied with Indiana. That's being in the game.
And you're right. We were right there with them. But do you have confidence that we could have I mean, we didn't.
Yeah, Doug,
win.
listen, I'm not going to sit here and try to tell you that the Hawkeyes are as good as Ohio State and Oregon. I can't do that. I mean, I'd be being dishonest if I thought that the Hawkeyes were just as good as Ohio State, who just looks like a different level of college football right now, and Oregon, who's really, really good. I think Indiana deserves to be in that conversation of being one of those big dogs. Curt Cignetti is the real deal. Right now, they are really, really good. Yep. And the Hawkeyes were right there with them.
I agree.
I would say where I was going with that.
Yeah, go ahead, Tyler.
Where I was going with that was arbitrary number. Is there 7 big dogs in the country? 8, 9? I don't think you get much past 10 and you start to feel very confident that they're big dogs. Like you go in and they're going to win anywhere, right? Because now you're starting to run up against each other. There's 140 college football teams. There's a lot of history there to consider too. So, and I don't want to try and completely dismantle this because I understand the frustration of we win the games we should, and there's been a little bit of before Lester got here, there was definitely we can't compete for a couple years with the ranked teams. I think we've turned that around, by the way. If you use that as your guiding star, over 90, 93, 94% of college football teams are just failures and they're just kicking the wood down the river.
Yeah.
And you just can't, personally, you just can't think like that. You'll never be happy because here's the reality. We're never going to be Ohio State. This sport was established a little over 100 years ago. Stuff happened over those first 100 years in some really pivotal moments to create blue bloods, to create resources. Some of it is just location. In all of our lifetimes right now, we are not going to be Ohio State. We're not going to be Oregon. We don't have Phil Knight money. And we don't have the tradition that Ohio State does. We're not. And I don't know how many people need to hear that. We're not. We might for a year. Maybe for
your name, Tyler, we might be Indiana.
We might be Indiana.
We could be in Indiana where we're from because who knows how long this lasts with Indiana.
By the way, Indiana has Mark Cuban money.
Oh, is that where that guy is?
I found that out 2 days ago. I was like, how are they? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's things at play here where it's like, if you don't have some serious stuff like that, Iowa's not going to go on a run of 7 or 8 years. Doesn't matter who the coach is. Saban could come up here. It isn't going to happen. It's not the same situation. They're not going to go on a run where they go to the college football playoff 6 or 7 out of 8 years. They're just not. And you can be on the other side of that and say, I don't believe that. You're capping but that's the reality. And there's, oh, by the way, dozens of other teams in the same boat as us.
Yeah.
It just is what it is.
Tyler, I think that's fair. Like at the beginning of the season, there's about 10% of the teams that are looking around saying we have a great shot of making the college football playoff. And then there's about another 10 or 15 teams that say, man, if the ball goes our way, we can get there. Doug, thanks for the phone call. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you, guys.
You bet, buddy. Have a great week. Go Hawks.
I hate to shit on Doug like that, but
I don't look at it as shitting on. It's conversations, and I love that guys are willing to call in and ladies to call in and say, "Hey, here's my thoughts on it," and then let us do exactly that. Go, well, here's why you're wrong.
Yeah,
but this is why. That's why it's therapy. It's Tyler. The calls always seem to me like the epitome of that coach's thing of it's never as bad as you think, and it's never as good as you think. Because somebody might call in next and say, we're winning on every game, and we're going to have to go, whoa.
Yeah. 100. Yeah, I personally, for one, my brain is nerdy, and I always, whatever in life, I'm thinking ahead, I'm looking ahead. I'm trying to be like the EQ. I'm trying to like max out EQ. But it doesn't make sense. It doesn't even make sense look at Penn State. Look at the team we just played.
Great example.
That is a big boy.
Who went into this season thinking they were locked in as one of those 10% of the college football world.
This is the year.
Yeah.
They're 3-4. I'm looking at
4 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, it's wild. So I'm looking at that stuff and I'm going, if that's how you're going to do it, if that's how you're going to emotionally set yourself up to follow your team, you can't be mad about feeling the hopelessness of like, well, great, we're going to win 8-9 games. What are we doing this for?
Yeah.
Go I don't know, go cheer for Indiana. Pick a different team every year. Wait halfway into the season and see who's good, and then pick that team. It's going to be more fun. It's going to be more fun.
But I would say to him, this is exactly why you do it.
Yeah.
It's exactly why you do it.
Absolutely.
Man, riding that ride is a fun
We've
ride.
played 7 games this year. I've had a blast watching them ascend through 7 games from we just didn't have it together. And I know I'm coming from the player perspective because I feel these guys, I see them celebrate in the locker room last week against Wisconsin. We talked about this with Travis, and I'm like, my God, that brings joy to my heart. I don't care how bad Wisconsin was. I feel and know, and I get flashbacks when I see those highlights from the thing of how hard these guys worked all year. And they get so few moments to celebrate and just success. And so early on in the season, tough one at Iowa State, man, we show improvement through the Indiana game. Everyone's like, I think we're getting better every single game. We let them off the hook. Indiana, we let them off the hook. Should have had them.
Yeah.
Then Penn State comes in. This Penn State team was ranked for a reason. This quarterback, now granted, we should have taken care of them more. We just beat a roster that up and down is so much more talented than us. I know this isn't a big win to some people. Damn good win. Damn good win.
Let's go to North Liberty. Tom is up next here on the Black and Gold Rush. Tom, thanks for calling into the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you, buddy?
Ross, it's great to hear your voice, buddy. I'm glad to be back, buddy.
Tom, how are you, man? Good to hear from you, friend.
Good, buddy. Well, hey, listen, I was telling Travis and Tyler last week, I was at this thing last Saturday night, and Ginger that calls in is like, oh, Tom, you don't know about Ross and Travis's new show? I'm like, no. So they gave me the number, bud. So I'm back.
Thank you so much to the Bushes. Love the Bushes.
Yeah. They were at this thing. So, hey, here's what I'll say about the last caller. And Tyler, I agree with you. This was a big win tonight. And hear me out. We didn't know anything about this quarterback. He'd thrown 10 passes in Division I college football before tonight,
and
right?
He was good.
I mean, how much tape do you have a guy on that, right? How much tape do you have on him? Not a lot, right? You got a different coach. And it always seems like when a coach gets fired, that team, they play harder that next week. At least it seems like it, right? I mean, look at UCLA when Penn State went out there. They played great for their new coach. So, and you don't know how that coach is going to coach that game. And you come off that huge win last week where you kicked the crap out of Wisconsin. Like, I'll take it. We won tonight. And you're right. We're not going to win 10, 11, 12 games every year, right? We're going to have those years where we're going to go freaking 11-1, and you got to savor those, right? But the one thing I will say, Gronowski, that guy, that kid is a baller. But if he could just hit a couple of those wide open passes that he seems to miss every game, that's the difference, I think, right now, right? Like, if he could just hit a couple of those, I think this offensively, we can take off. I mean, that's my opinion. But, hey, Ross, and you know this, right? Like, little Tom's with me. He had a great time at the game tonight. But, next week, I'll call in after we're done rowing PJ's boat from St. Olaf College. Go Hawks.
Go Hawks. Tell little Tom we said hi, Tom. Appreciate it, buddy. Good to hear from you, man.
I'll tell him. We'll see you next week.
All right, bud. Talk to you later. Have a great week, and go Hawks. 515-517-2303. That's the number. Westbound on I-80. We're going to hook up with Tanner now. Tanner, thanks for calling in to the Black and Gold Rush here on the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you, buddy?
Hey, fellas. How are you guys doing tonight?
Doing great,
Fantastic.
man. How was the game? It seemed like the atmosphere was absolutely electric in there.
The game was great. And we had, it was, I don't know how to explain it. It's like there's like so much negativity on this line tonight. It's like almost you're like Tyler Kluver just short of the glue line on a fake punt. It's like, hey, this is a great win for the Hawks, and I don't understand the negativity, fellas.
That's expectations of a fan base, Tanner. I think that's all that you're dealing with here. And like we said, man, even on these great games, these nights when it's a great night to be a Hawkeye, and I really think as Hawkeye fans remove themselves from this game, they're going to start to realize some of this other stuff, that the Hawkeyes won this football game. No, I'm not just saying the superficial part of they had that the score was better than the opponent at the end of the game. I mean, you look at how Penn State racked up their 24 points, and there were some uncharacteristic mistakes from a Hawkeye team. and you clean up a few of those. You get the ball to bounce your way a few times. You get a few of those calls like that late hit that should have been called that would have moved the ball another 15 yards and maybe give them that first field goal. All of a sudden, we're having a whole different conversation tonight about this Hawkeye team beating the crap out of Penn State. Now, a couple weeks ago, I'm on here screaming about how, what do I want as a Hawkeye fan? I want to be competitive every year. I want to be in the college football playoff conversation every year. I want to make the college football playoff every few years, and I want to beat fucking Indiana. That was my takeaway. Well, dude, we almost destroyed Penn State tonight. I mean, again, it doesn't look that way on the scoreboard, but I think that what you're dealing with there is just Hawkeye fans, and they really want – we want a little bit more. And
I understand where it comes from.
Right. So it's all right, man. I don't think there's too much negativity here. I think it's just Hawkeye fans going, hey, this is fun. It's fun to win today.
Yeah. 2015. We were all there.
This is a great win. We should celebrate it. Like, this is freaking awesome because no one predicted us beat Penn State. And like we're like, we're 4-2, 3-1 the conference now. Sorry, maybe. And like we're in the driver's seat. No one predicted this. Like, let's go, fellas.
That's right, buddy. That's right. That's the way to look at it. Tanner, thanks for the phone call, man. Appreciate it. I'm glad you're at the game. And it did on TV. It just seemed electric. We'll take that as
electric. It's amazing.
Cool, man. Thanks so much, Tanner. Have a great day, buddy. Have a great week and go Hawks.
This is one of those games.
You bet.
Bye, buddy.
This is one of those games where all the thoughts we have right now, you get the win. The win goes in the column. You check the ESPN site. Okay, Iowa 5-2. Good, we got it. Let me focus on the bad, right? When this is think of all the issues, all of the potential mistakes, the missed field, all the stuff that happened in the Indiana game. And then after that, for hours, days, how we just sat there and thought, if we just make that field goal, that's all that matters. But then when you make that field goal and you win that ball game, it's all of a sudden it's not all that matters now, right? The guys are going to go fix it. And this is one of the big disconnects I'm an asshole.
No, Tyler,
I don't do well.
This is why we love having you as a part of our local media thing. And we're so glad that you're here because you do give us a perspective that none of us get to have. None of us.
I believe the big disconnect, Ross, is the touch points that we get as fans on the outside. It's just Saturday. Yeah. And it feels very fleeting and like you don't have any control. And it's what's great, but it's also what's bad. Because you're sitting on the edge of your seat and you're on your couch and you're like, oh,
you have so much emotion invested in it.
I would have got that. I would have tackled him. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. Great. Love that enthusiasm. You're going to go to work on Monday. Those guys are going to go work on tackling him. Right? They're going to work on it. They're going to watch the film. They're taking care of it. They're working on it. Right? And so when you don't have that control, Monday, that's the feeling just stews. Or it's great, right? Like now it's going to be, for some people, we're going to have a chance where if we can get Minnesota, Oregon comes to town, it's going to be another rockin' Kinnick, right? And the guys both ways, it's gone. Minnesota's hard to beat.
Yeah.
The Pigs hard to keep around. I don't care what the record says. Those games where we've won 9 of 10 or whatever it's been, and the one was a fluke with the Cooper DeJean hand, those are hard as hell to win. And they're close a lot. Sometimes they're not. And the Gophers are going to come in scrapping.
I'd love to have one of those old, remember about 20 years ago, you probably weren't even born yet, when Iowa beat Minnesota like 56-0 in Kinnick. There was a Minnesota game that was an
97?
Absolute.
No, it wouldn't have been 97, would it?
It might have been around there. I'm pretty old, dude.
Was it in the 2000s? Somebody in the chat will tell us. I was born in 94.
Okay, all right. There was.
That's getting close to the the days where we weren't very good.
God. You say you were born in 94?
I was born in 94.
515-517-2303. When we before we get done, Tyler, I do want to ask you about that player thing, that player angle that you're talking about, and how Coach Ferentz will handle, like, for instance, that the offsides that ended up costing them that fourth down stop.
Man.
Again, we're sitting here talking about how the Hawkeyes won, but you're going to pick apart the negative, and sometimes you lose, and you try to find the positive. And I just at some point want you to tell us about how that will be handled as the week goes on here. Let's get out to Fort Calhoun, Nebraska. That's where Nate's calling in from. Nate, thanks for calling in to the Iowa Lottery Studios. It's the Black and Gold Rush. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good. Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Well, thank you for calling in, man.
All I wanted to say is I don't really agree with everybody bitching and complaining about how they look tonight. Like, a win's a win. Next week, we're going to come out and beat Minnesota's ass.
Hell yeah.
That's really all I got to say. PJ Fleck is a cuck. Good night.
Is this the Washed-Up Walk-ons Podcast? What just happened? He is a little bit. I love that.
He is, though.
I love that. I mean, bro, when they won that trophy that year, that Cooper had the bogus call. He said he took the Floyd home and put it in him and his wife's bedroom. I'm pretty sure that was something that he said. So that's a little weird.
He's a weird fella. We're all a little bit weird. He's a weird fella.
He is. I've always been on the side of he's not fake, though. It is very much so who he is.
Great way to put it, man. That's a wonderful way to put it. And most people know somebody like that, where you're like, oh, this guy feels so plastic. And then after a few years, you're like, oh, wait, he's always plastic.
Yeah,
That's
you're like,
just him.
You cut him apart, and you're like, he's made of plastic.
Yeah, right, exactly. 515-517-2303, Leroy, Iowa. That's where Link is joining us from. Thanks for the phone call into the Black and Gold Rush. Link, how are you?
Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing wonderful, man. What do you want to share with the program?
Well, I just wanted to say I could probably list off like 10 things. That, first of all, I thought it was a really good win tonight. I haven't thought this is going to sound bad. I don't mean there's talent on this team, but I don't think this is one of Kirk's most talented teams.
Agreed.
But I think this team plays super hard, and they're gritty and gutty, and I think that's what's really kind of cool about these guys. They just play so hard, and they fight till the very end. So I think the two things, the 66-yard field goal, I wanted them to take that. So I'm going to raise my hand that we got scored on because of that. But we didn't block at all up front. Go look at the replay on the right-hand side.
Up.
I don't know what we were doing on the right-hand side. Yeah, so the one I disliked was going for 2 in the third quarter. I thought, okay, here's what's going to happen. At the end of the game, the other team's we're going to be down, or we're going to be up by 2 points or a point. They're going to come down and kick a last-second field goal and beat us. Just like 2 years ago at home against Iowa State when we went for 2, same darn thing. Came down and beat us by last-second field goal then. So I didn't like that call. So, so that was the one I didn't care for.
And Link, it's uncharacteristic. It's uncharacteristic for Coach Ferentz to kind of, I hate to say that, use that phrase, chase points, but it's uncharacteristic for Coach Ferentz to do that early in the game. I was kind of surprised by that as well, and I guess I instantly chalked it up to, well, that's what the book says to do. But you're right. You as the game plays out, you go, oh, that point's going to matter.
Yeah, we stopped them, but they were probably 15 to 20 yards from kicking a winning field goal.
Probably, yeah, around there. They had it near midfield. Yeah.
Yep. But what I will say is the other piece is the running quarterback, the quarterback that's got wheels. I feel like Iowa should be recruiting a stable of running quarterbacks. They will get hurt, by the way, just like Marcus got hurt. But I think that dimension adds so much to our offense, and it helps our running game so much. The ability to pull the ball out and run whenever you want, because everybody cheats on our running game. If we give an action to the running back, half of the defense is running over to the running lanes immediately. And all you have to do is pull the ball out and run around at the end. You're wide open. Because when's the last time you guys can remember that we finished the game on offense when we got a first down? In that last play sealed it. I thought for sure we're going to have to punt it back like we always do. Punt it back
Good
even
trivia
15
question.
seconds.
Yeah.
We're 12-12 against Penn State too. We're 12-12 against Penn State. And I'm glad Tyler mentioned that, because I was going to argue with you a few weeks back when you were talking about it's not the money, it's the people. Yeah. And you didn't realize Mark Cuban is pumping a ton of money into that Indiana program.
Yeah.
And guess what? They're good for the first time in 50 years. So
Yeah, that's interesting too.
that's
The money versus people thing, because it takes both, but it takes money first at that level.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I mean, people are important too. Don't get me wrong. But
yeah,
money helps.
Exactly.
Indiana shows that.
Yep, you've got to have you got to have the right people, and I would argue this all day that you of course the money seems now to be the prerequisite, but the money doesn't do everything. And you can look all around college football and see that the guys can bring in amazing talent. They can get all the NIL deals. There's no chemistry. There's no cohesiveness. There's no common goal. There's no and it's hard to build that stuff when you're just throwing money at the problem. That's why I really do think it's Curt Cignetti. You can bring in all this talent you want, and if you don't have the right guy to be able to corral it and get all of those egos in check and get them going the right direction, it's all for naught. And we see a lot of football teams that run into that problem. That's why the people matter. The Mark Cuban money doesn't hurt. It's a huge part of it. Yeah. Link.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for the call.
No, you're
Link.
right about Kurt. He's a good coach. Hey, one more thing.
Yeah.
Well, never mind.
No, fire away, buddy. Fire away.
On that topic. Oh, I was going to say Penn State. I mean, they are a great program. We're 12-12 all time with them.
That's amazing.
But they really got rocked when they lost to Oregon at home at a White House. They just never recovered from that. I think we're trying to figure out, well, how could they lose 4 in a row or whatever that they lost? They all came back for a national title run. That roster was built for a national title run. When they lost that game, it rocked them, and they didn't realize that, you know what, their season wasn't over. If they would have just gone out and won the rest of their games, maybe even lost one more, they'd been in the playoffs and could make that run. But for whatever reason, the psyche was damaged, and they just haven't recovered since. So very interesting. I don't think it's so much that they were poorly coached or anything. They just didn't expect to get beat at home by Oregon, even though Oregon's very good.
Yeah. Link,
so anyway,
Link, I appreciate this call, Link. This is this very smart call. Thanks a lot for calling in, man. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Have a great week, and go Hawks. 515-517-2303. Couple more before we get to the bottom of the hour break. Let's go to Gladbrook, Iowa. That's where Howard is calling in from. Howard, thanks for giving us a call here on the Black and Gold Rush. Hey, what's up, Howard? It's you.
Just watching my wife put a sheet on the couch for the dog to sleep on. Okay. You ever had that done?
Have I ever put a sheet on the? No, I'm a dirty dude. I just let the dog go on the couch, and then I, deal with the dog hair later. I'm pretty gross, Howard.
Hey, I got a question for Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Does a head coach really make that much of a difference? I mean, we just saw what happened tonight.
Oh.
And is it all about the assistant coaches that take care of all the game? You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or is Ferentz really got that much say?
Say on a grand
Tyler,
scheme.
you got anything to say about that?
Absolutely, Howard. Yeah. So on a game day, I think it's the least important day of the year. Those 12 or 14 or however many play. It's the least important day of the year for the head coach. Hayes in the barn. You watch Coach Ferentz walk. Contrary to what some people think, you watch him walk up and down the sideline. He's not talking a lot on the microphone. There's not a lot of directions. That he's coached his guys. He's coached his coaches. They've got what they do. Go play. Big time decisions. In on conversations.
Okay.
Yes, he's
so
in on
that's how it works. He is coaching his coaches.
And players.
What he's saying, Howard, there is I think what Tyler's saying there, and I've always loved this phrase, you can't coach during a game. Yeah. You can't teach a player. You can't teach during a game. Once the whistle blows and that kickoff goes, your work is already done. The hay is in the barn, as Tyler said. And I think that's what you're saying there, right, Kluver? Is that it?
Yeah. So where Howard's going with this, it's a great point. We talked about it last week. Is he's basically asking, does having Franklin matter, right? And I would say, again, this is what I was worried about coming into this week. You go in to the game with Franklin, you just have that. There is no extra component there. You go into the game with somebody else. Now there's a little bit of motive to do it for the new guy.
Yeah.
We got to add a little extra for the guy who's being placed under the pressure. Right? And I like that. I like that coach. I like how he talked to the reporters. I like what he was saying. He's like, we're going to come out, we're going to play hard. Like, this is
fighting
going to
for his guys the whole time.
Fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think in a way and that's where the bump comes. That's where that head coach firing bump comes. Now, there's some other things that happen too. There's that guy, he's worried about job security. Everybody else is worried about job security. A bunch of those players are thinking, man, where am I transferring next year? But yeah, when it comes down, so I like the question. I don't think it matters as much. I was more worried about what that quarterback was going to do. I thought that was a bigger factor than Franklin not being on the sideline, to answer your question.
Well, it was an incredible outcome because I sure as hell, as long as I've been a Hawk fan, that was surprising to me that we pulled it out. And that was awesome.
Howard,
I
was
love you
shocked.
guys' show. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Howard. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Have a great week and go Hawks.
Yeah.
I was shocked when Link said that the Hawkeyes are 12-12 against Penn State. I wrote that down and underlined it and thought.
I was going to say, you want a rivalry. We don't play the game every year, which is why, maybe you can't point to it. But if you want an Iowa rival,
and
the best rivalry in football is us and Penn State. But as far as Iowa goes, Iowa State's close, definitely over the last 5-8 years.
Yeah.
Penn State, it's like back and forth. It's like every other game.
They're almost all like this.
Yeah, and somehow I didn't get it. I wasn't a part of one of those wins. That's tough. Yeah, 2 really bad ones. We talked about that last week, but yeah, it's one of the better rivalries that Iowa has.
I like that.
Every game is like, other than when we got absolutely demolished in 2016, but every other game is so good. It's a great football game. If you were just a bystander, you have no bias in the matchup. You're like, for some reason, you have Peacock other than, sports. You're like, what's on Peacock tonight? The Hawks and the Nittany Lions. And then you come away and you're like, holy smokes, cinema.
I had like 3 conversations today about Peacock at the grocery store. Overheard people going, I hate Peacock. God.
Got to reactivate my goddamn Peacock account.
515-517-2303.
Forgot my password.
Teddy Candy, you stick on hold. Luke and Charlie will get to you guys in this next segment. It is the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studio.
She's on the 17, the 45, the 29, and she scores big cash prizes from the Iowa Lottery by matching her numbers to the winning numbers on the new Iowa Blackout Scratch Ticket. Now she's entering for a chance to win an Ironman Suite experience at Kinnick Stadium, plus other fun VIP prizes. That's the best touchdown dance I've ever seen. Make the biggest play of the season today. Enter and see rules at ialottery.com/VIP.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time homebuyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on therushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Hour number 2 of the Black and Gold Rush here live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. Tyler Kluver is sitting in for Travis Justice tonight as Travis helps out the Omaha community raising a bunch of money for Scare Away Cancer, something that he does every year. And unfortunately, this night game just coincided with that. So no Travis tonight, but man, Tyler, thanks so much. I love your insight and input. And quite frankly, just that you're available to come in and hang out with me. It's so much fun.
Oh,
thanks,
dude.
buddy.
I told you.
Uh-oh. Did I just lose everything? Did Tyler just freeze? I still see.
Am I back?
There you are. You're back.
Okay.
You're back.
No, I told you guys on the weekly show that I thoroughly, like Thursday night, I was sad on Thursday when I was like, the kids are sick. I don't wake up One's home, then the other one wakes up. I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna miss. My wife even was like, do you want me to call in for the morning or stay until you're done with your radio spot? And I was like, I got him. I can.
Yeah,
I'll just
right move. Move.
No, I love being here. I love you guys have a bunch of listeners that probably don't tune into the walk-ons for good reasons, that get a little taste of me. And they're like, oh, now I know why I don't listen to the show. But yeah, I love this. It's fun. I have nothing else to do other than sleep, which is not important for nights like tonight.
Okay.
I've had 2 great nights. Whooped Wisconsin's ass and then beat Penn State.
You're going to be like our lucky charm. So for several years, when we had people fill in when we were on WHO, it was like when people filled in, we knew the Hawks were going to. It was weird. It was weird. If one of us missed the show, the Hawks lost almost every time. Had nothing to do with it, by the way.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Had nothing to do with it. 515-517-2303. Let's go south of the Blue Yummy Garage, and that's where Teddy Candy's calling in from. Teddy, thanks so much to hear from you, man. Thanks for calling into the Iowa Lottery Studios and the Black and Gold Rush. How are you tonight?
Peterson, I'm great, but I was told that if I listened to the show, I would get to see Sandy Bush. I haven't seen any Sandy Bush the entire time.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Stick around, my friend.
I can't help you with that.
Stick around.
All right. Well, look, reason I'm calling in was a little bit ago you were talking with Tyler about perspective, and you enjoyed his perspective. And so I'm going to offer a different perspective, and I'm going to give you the perspective of an Iowa State fan.
Okay.
So, look, I've spent my entire life hating the Hawkeyes, hated them. And so, ordinarily, you get into that position and you'd get the 66-yard field goal attempt and it gets ran back. Earlier in my life, I would have laughed and really enjoyed that. I would have watched the Iowa game just for that. And recently, my wife, Fancy, received her master's degree from the University of Iowa.
Congratulations.
And so today was my first day that I actually watched an Iowa game, and I rooted for the Hawkeyes because they took all my money. So I'll root for them.
I paid to cheer for this team, damn it. I like it.
That's right. But I just want to say that, I've listened to the whole program and I listen daily, but I listened to this program really start to finish for the first time. And there was so much negativity. There was positivity, but damn it, that was fun. That was really fun. They won a game, and it's Penn State, and they lost 3 in a row, and there's so much extracurriculars that are there. But damn it, they won, and it was fun. It was really, really, really fun. So, as a non-Hawkeye fan, and I guess I'm going to pretend to be one for right now, makes my wife happy, but enjoy it. That was great. It was great. And maybe it's because my team lost 2 in a row and they had a bye, but man, it was great. And I have so many buddies that are Hawkeyes fans that are happy right now. I'm going to be happy for them. And it was awesome.
Teddy, this is awesome, man. I first of all, congratulations to your wife on receiving her master's degree. That's an incredible accomplishment. It's a lot of commitment, a lot of energy and effort, and that's something to be very, very proud of. I think that a lot of people will be happy to hear that. See, people are so wrong about Derek from New Sharon, and I've tried to tell people for a long time, you don't know the man behind the myth there, and I think people will be happy to know that he's near and dear to a Hawkeye fan now.
Well, don't tell him that I called. He'll be pissed.
Talk to you soon, Teddy. Thank you so much for the call, buddy. Go Hawks and go Cyclones. 515-517-2303. On the way home from I-80s, let's talk to him a little bit about what Kinnick Stadium was like. Luke, thanks for calling into the Iowa Lottery Studios and the Black and Gold Rush. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. I'm passenger seat on I-80. We're moving. And you know what? We're celebrating a great win tonight. It wasn't the prettiest thing in the entire world, but you know what? A win's a win.
Yeah.
I think that you guys can all attest to that. And before I dive into anything, I want to say shout out to the Iowa Glory and shout out to Blake Gimbel. I know that Tyler Kluver can probably attest to a couple great names right there. But
that's a shout out
I want to see what you guys. That is shout out Taco John's too. But anyways, how are you guys? I mean, I know you guys talk how you're feeling, but it was a long night. It really was a long night. We were sitting there and we were watching. But at the end of the day, it's tough to get a win when you kind of make some mistakes along those lines. And as someone that's been in the shoes, like as a team, how are you feeling? I can only imagine that it's a gratifying win, especially against a team that's historically good. I mean, just kind of give me you guys' insight, and if you guys were in their shoes, how you guys are feeling.
Well, Tyler, you've been there, buddy. I'll defer to you on this. Like, what is magical the right word? I mean, I can only imagine that winning after the work that you put in. I mean, I have to just compare it to my own life. When you set a goal and you work really hard and you do something, man, I become overcome with emotion a lot of times. I've cried as a grown man because of things I've accomplished.
Absolutely. Again, like I said, you get so few. You work all year, 365 days for 12 opportunities, and most teams aren't going to win every single one. And the first couple feel good, but it's business as usual, Albany, UMass kind of thing. Mm-hmm. When you're going up against guys who are doing the same thing for you all year long, they're working towards the same goal. They're living the same life that you are. It doesn't matter what happened in their season this year. It doesn't matter last week against Wisconsin that we won by 37. It's the result said we did it better. And that feels good. And it feels good for yourself. It feels really good because you've grinded in the off season with your brothers, with your coaches. You're happy for them. So why Coach Ferentz gets emotional because he is a person guy. And he gets so damn happy for his players when it pays off. And it's not, this one probably isn't magical. Those guys aren't stupid. They know that a couple bounces here, couple there. This one is both we got away with that one, but we also gave that away. And they can think on both sides of the coin because they know they're coming back in tomorrow to watch the tape. But yeah, that locker room tonight, the aches and pains, the hits you took, they feel a little less bad. You're not tired. It's gosh, they get out of there at what, 10-ish if they get out quick. Feels like it's 1 PM. The meal tastes better afterwards. The drive home on the moped, the air's a little bit crisper.
On the moped.
Every single thing is better. So, yeah, man, it's very, very, very good.
Luke, take us back to the blocked field goal at the end of the first half. What's the feeling like inside of Kinnick at that point?
No bueno.
No.
It was horrible.
Absolutely.
It was not good. It made me run right to the concession stand and grab another beer. I'll tell you that. And I couldn't have got enough beers, so they were taking forever. Excuse me. I about used a word that probably wouldn't be allowed. But
we can say whatever we want. Yeah, we're free all that, Luke.
We got probably other people on I-80 and then we're trying to be respectful.
That's good.
Luke,
That's
thank
good.
you so much for the phone call, sir, and drive home safe or ride home safe, and enjoy your week with a nice win here, okay?
All right, go Glory.
Go
Glory.
Go Hawkeyes. That's awesome.
The Glory is my AAU basketball team from 2005. And I don't know. I'm not sure which Luke that is. I think I know, but that is a shout out. Blake Gimbel, who he mentioned, Taco John's, he was our star quarterback, still has passing records for Iowa 20 years later, 15 years later. His parents own the Taco John's in Marshalltown. So yeah, man, that's a throwback right there. Thanks, Luke.
before, because we got Charlie, Corey, and Matt, so I want to get to calls here. But you did bring back a memory because I played AAU basketball.
Nice.
And
Post?
this would have been right. Our only guy that was worth a crap on our team was our post player. His name was Kevin Hansen. He played for Southeast Polk. Probably could have played college basketball, but he ended up being ended up working for Mr. B's and Bedowers as a fine clothier. And then he delivered exotic fish around the Midwest. And now he owns a fly fishing store. He's a true Renaissance man.
One of a kind.
One of a kind is Kevin. And we won our first couple of games. We beat Johnston and Urbandale. And then in round 3, we got to go against a team that's called the Squad.
The Squad.
Dude, it was like a Metro all-star team.
I know exactly what that team was putting on the court, and you were in trouble when you walked in the gym.
Dude, they were throwing alley-oops off the backboard.
Yeah.
I've
been there.
And Kevin was the only guy that could keep up with him. And you've been in these athletic positions too, where there's one guy on your team who's like, we can play with these guys.
Yes.
Let's go. Come on. And everybody else is like this, like
Blake, the guy that Luke mentioned, he was our one guy from Marshalltown. Now, Blake and I played on a travel team from Des Moines where we got a bunch of Blakes from all the different schools. And we went to, I have the same thing happen, Ross. I know no one cares, but we went to Indianapolis. And we played a team from Kansas City, Missouri. It was 7th grade. And I didn't know that people could jump that high. I didn't know that people were built like that.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any of them in Marshalltown, Iowa. So there were some wake-up calls on the AAU circuit back in 2006, 2007.
515-517-2303. Let's go to Newton. That's where Charlie is calling in from. Charlie, thanks for calling into the Black and Gold Rush here in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you, sir?
Good. How are you, Ross?
Hey, doing well, buddy. What you know?
Hey, I just wanted Kluver to know that I do watch or follow the Washed-Up Walk-ons there.
Hell yeah. Love that.
Yeah. I was, but I was wondering, with all that money that I was bringing in here from their TV deals and so forth, you think we'd get a fucking jugs machine over there? I mean,
we got
what's going on with our wide receivers?
Yeah, I promise we have one.
They got one, or they? I know. He says they coach him to catch the ball, but man, that interception, it killed me. It just bounced right off his shoulder pad.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up, man, because one of the callers was kind of iffy. He's like, our passing game still, if Mark could just start putting it on these guys. And I wanted to say, well, every game we've had a couple where he puts it right on them.
There's been a couple of drops every game. Today there were a few more as well. And one of he was 10 of 16 on the night. I had at least one that I can remember that he had to throw away to avoid a sack.
Yep.
He had a couple that were well thrown balls that were just dropped or knocked into the air and intercepted.
Yeah.
So I don't beat him up. We had one caller earlier that was like, man, I wish he could hit those open guys. And I'm trying to remember which. I don't remember.
Game, the first 3 passes that it really stuck.
He hasn't been that bad. No. I mean, with the exception of the first couple of games. He hasn't been that. He's been pretty accurate. He's suffered more from drop passes. So, but the other thing I wanted to bring up was it is good. I think tonight exemplified the importance of having a mobile quarterback and someone that can make a play with their feet when they need to. Not that they have to, but when they need to. And that's what we've been missing for so long. And because there's no way we would have won this game without a mobile quarterback.
Agreed.
So
we've had a couple callers, Charlie, that mentioned that. Link was one of them. And Aaron earlier was talking about Brad Banks, that this is the first guy you can remember. I think Drew Tate could get out and get loose a little bit, but not like
CJ could run.
CJ saved the undefeated season against Iowa State with his legs.
Sure did.
Yeah, that's a great point. And Charlie, I think Link said, one of those guys said something like, man, we should always be sure we're recruiting running quarterbacks. I do think that's, if it's an option, hell yeah, we got a guy that can do that. It's saying it and doing it are very different things. Saying it and getting it done.
100%.
Well, yeah, and look, I think even Hank Brown and Heklinski could scramble out of the pocket and get you a couple of yards. They're not statues like Peterson and Deacon Hill were, who just literally had no mobility.
That poor Deacon Hill.
We were in a rough
They don't
spot.
have to be.
Just
They don't,
gets
Hey.
killed.
Hey, Deacon, shout out to him for filling in.
Yeah,
my man found himself. In the
yeah,
wrong
no, I'm
place.
not criticizing. No, I'm not. Hey, I heard Peterson is a great dude.
Yeah.
And like from everything I've seen, he'd be fun as hell to sit down and have a beer with. I ain't knocking the guy, and he can throw a hell of a ball too.
Sure can.
He just wasn't that mobile.
Yeah,
So,
and I think it's a good point that,
but
the earlier caller Ross said something like we gotta get and play running quarterbacks. Slight amendment. We gotta get and play quarterbacks who can, if we need them to.
Yeah.
We don't necessarily want to lead with that.
Yes.
And I would almost argue, especially with the way that this season's played out. I mean, 11 rushing time. Like he kind of is if you just let him run the triple option, Mark would be good at it, man.
Tyler, I didn't realize he'd had touchdowns in that many games, rushing touchdowns in a row. When they said, when he scored the touchdown, they said that's his 10th rushing touchdown. My brain literally had a thing where I'm like, in his career?
No, this season.
Yeah. For a half beat, my brain did that thing of like, well, yeah, he's played 78 college football games. That's what they're talking about. No, that's this year. Year.
Yeah,
Charlie.
They just need Rocco Beck is mobile.
Yeah,
and that's all we need. They just got to be mobile. They got to be able to scramble and get out of the pocket.
Well, Charlie, thanks for the phone call. Very, very much appreciate it, sir.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
Take care, buddy. We'll talk to you soon. Go Hawks. Have a great week. 515-517-2303. Up to Ankeny, where we chat with Corey. Corey, thanks for giving us a call on the Black and Gold Rush here on the in the Iowa Lottery studio. Sorry about this, Corey. I'm trying to get you on the air, I promise. There you are. What's up, Corey? How are you, bud?
Hey, guys. I think the win's a win. Football games are hard to win, and it's obviously we got a lot to clean up. There's a lot of stuff they could do to do better. The catching, there's some tackling, but the win ultimately is a good thing. So they just got to keep, taking one step at a time. But yeah, that field goal, I guess I agree with Tyler. Like everyone would have wanted him to do it because if it would have went through, that would have been a legendary story. But then,
in a 10-point swing.
Yeah, and the field goal, they got incredible penetration. But kind of to lead into the running quarterback thing, this is kind of off topic here. I kind of asked this to some buddies during the game, and going into the feature machine with Penn State and all their turmoil, what are the chances, and I don't even know, is that Smollett kid going to transfer back this way?
I don't.
Apparently
I doubt it. I mean, maybe he's from what, Dowling?
He went to Dowling. I think we offered him, and then he clearly runs. That's what they brought him in to do. And with the way Lester calls games and runs the quarterback, I don't know how much of a thrower he is. I don't think he threw, but I was just curious if that's something that.
Fair question, because Grunkemeyer, the guy they're playing, he's got 3 years left after this. So yeah, I don't think the Smollett kid is at this point looking like he's going to get a lot of playing time there. So maybe a lot of people jump in the portal and come back home. So maybe.
And I can see why they like Grunkemeyer. I mean, he's going to be a quality quarterback. He did really well today. I kept thinking of you, Tyler, as we were previewing this game all week, and that would get brought up like, hey, they're going to be starting a quarterback that's thrown like 10, 12 passes. I kept hearing your voice saying that electricity inside of Kinnick Stadium is going to course through his veins. He did a great job of handling that early in the game. Great job.
100%. And there might be some people who are upset with his play. For the situation, I gave him an A. I mean, sure, couple picks, you're gonna get that. That's the Kinnick factor there. That was gonna happen. Otherwise, did pretty good though. Made a couple really great passes out to the an 8-10 yard out route where it's just like, man, he's putting them on him, and the timing is good, especially for a first start where we can't defend that. And that's worrisome. And so, yeah, I would be very impressed. He put out a performance today in a situation, in a spot that Penn State should feel very good about.
Yeah. And again, you have to watch the game and break down the interceptions. The one bounces off of his receiver, and the other one is an amazing athletic play to pick that ball inside the 5. Corey, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say even the last play of the game, or the last play they had it, he was under duress, and Xavier Wampa came through there, and he clearly had bad intentions for that kid, and he made a good throw that we broke that, but that was a good play with 3 guys all around him. So he I mean, he had safeties running through there all night at him with, he got that the series before that, Intringer just drilled him to make him kick the field goal.
Yeah.
And so no, there's as Tyler, I'm sure we'll talk about this week I'm hearing with his guys, there's a bunch of stuff to clean up. I'm sure the film session will start early tomorrow, but for now, I think you just celebrate the win, because you could be Wisconsin, because that is just a nightmare what they got going on over there. So take the win. But
Corey, very much appreciate
talking to you guys.
Yeah, thanks so much, sir. Have a great week, and go Hawks.
Go Hawks.
515-517-2303 is the phone number. We'll take one more before we get to the top of the hour. That'll come from Cedar Rapids. We'll chat with our buddy Kevin. Kevin, thanks for giving us a call here on the Black and Gold Rush in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you tonight?
Oh, man, it's Hawks by a million tonight. I'm fantastic.
I love that.
Man.
Hey, real
quick.
quick.
$1 million, it doesn't matter to me.
Kevin, real quick while you say that. Dude, I saw a Theo Vaughn clip the other day of Theo Vaughn wearing a Hawks by a million t-shirt.
He's got one.
I saw that today flipping around YouTube as well. I couldn't believe. I think he was interviewing Tommy Lee from Motley Crue. He's wearing a Hawks by a million t-shirt. It was awesome. Yeah,
that's him.
Fantastic.
He was a good guy.
Well, that's awesome. Well, guys, listen. Hey, I just want to point something out. I don't know if it happened earlier in the show, but I feel like we had a pretty awesome game plan with Tim Lester when that passing game was falling apart. Because Kamari Moulton had a 5.8 yard per carry average here tonight. And to me, it was Kamari Moulton that opened up that running game for Gronowski as well. It was pretty impressive, not only the calls, the runs, but also the way Penn State just started keying in on Moulton, and it was rope-a-dope for Mark Gronowski.
Kevin, that's a great call, dude. The 2 bootlegs, that the one that goes for a touchdown, the one that seals the game, that's all because all those eyes are on Moulton. And I'm assuming Moulton was in the backfield for both of those. But to your point, they're looking at the running game because of Moulton's 5.8 yards per carry. Gronowski ends up with 130 yards on the ground. He has 31 more yards than Moulton. But I absolutely agree with you. There was a time. In fact, it's that drive after Penn State comes down and scores. They get the pick. They go into the end zone. Man, they were steamrolling Penn State early in that game, and I thought, oh, this is going to be great. I think that's a great point, Kevin, that when you look at Gronowski's big runs, a lot of it is because of their eyes being back there on Moulton.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I hope that continues this season, too, because I think eventually it is going to open up some passing lanes, and hopefully we can get our receivers healthy enough to start throwing the ball at the hash marks.
Yeah, it was nice to see Reese Vanderzee out there again. That was the second time we've seen him all season.
Blocking his ass off.
Heck yeah.
Blocking his go watch. Everybody go rewatch that game. You catch it on like an instant classic or something. They put it on Big Ten. Just check out 15 on the reps he got. The Weechin touchdown on the end around. There's some unsung heroes in that game.
I like that you see that stuff, because that's one of the things that I have to watch the game a second time to see. I'm one of these dumb football fans, Tyler, that my eyes follow the football.
I am too, for the most part, but
Okay.
You stand there long enough and you can only snap so many balls. You get a couple. I gained a couple brain cells on how to watch more of the field than just where the ball is, and it's good to see Reese, and he's a big body, man. It's hard to get off a block if Reese Vanderzee gets his hands on you. And he's going to play a role. Maybe it's not this year. He's going to be he's going to be a dude.
Kevin, thanks for the phone call. Very much appreciated. Anything else you wanted to add? Nope, he's gone.
Kevin's gone?
515-517-2303. When we get back, we're going to go to Virginia. Virginia Beach, that's where Scott is calling in from, and then our buddy Bus up in Webster City. But there are some open phone lines right now. Give us a call, 515-517-2303. Tyler Kluver and myself here with you for the next half hour on the Black and Gold Rush from the Iowa Lottery Studios.
With the new Blackout Scratch ticket from the Iowa Lottery, you can win the game day experience of your dreams.
That'll be $5.
Enter for a chance to win a VIP experience cheering on the Hawkeyes from the Ironman Suite at Kinnick Stadium.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You like listening to Travis and Ross talk about the Hawkeyes, so tune in when they talk about everything else. Listen to The Rush with Travis and Ross every day on the rushradio.com, YouTube, the TuneIn app, and wherever you get your sports content.
Welcome back to the Black and Gold Rush here live from the Iowa Lottery Studios. About a half hour left in the program and some open phone lines right now at 515-517-2303. Hawks with a nice win, 25-24 victory over Penn State. Not exactly the way anybody drew it up, but it's a W, and the Hawkeyes push Penn State to 0-4 in the Big Ten. Amazing. And it really does open up the rest of this season. A couple of tough games coming up. Minnesota next weekend. Oregon still looming. USC, Michigan State, and Nebraska to end things out. But feeling really good today as a Hawkeye fan after a nice win over Penn State. Let's go to Virginia Beach, Virginia. That's where our buddy Scott is calling in from. Scott, thanks so much for giving us a call here on the Black and Gold Rush. Welcome into the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you tonight?
Good evening, gentlemen. How you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, man. What do you want to share with us?
Well, I just wanted to say that win was well-deserved. And the last time I saw the Hawks play was in Kinnick Stadium, was when the Hawks beat Ohio State. So, Tyler, thank you very much for that. And I always watch your Washed-Up Walk-ons. Awesome show.
Appreciate that.
No problem. And I was in Penn State 2 years ago in 2023, and walking out of the stands for that loss was just, it was awful. And I wish I would have been in Kinnick tonight. However, it was just a great win. I'm just happy that the Hawks won. Here on the East Coast, walking through the supermarket tonight to get my beverages and everything else for the game, there was quite a few Penn State fans that were in there as well, and they saw my shirt, and it was, oh, we're going to kill you. I'm like, whatever. Just kind of walking by them, but it was just a great win, and me and my wife were sitting here, and I'm like, oh, my God, we're down by whatever, and I'm like, oh, this game's over. But then when I see Gronkowski and everybody just doing the job, it was just an awesome win, and I'm just glad that it happened.
Scott, here's what I thought you were going to say. I'd hoped you were going to say that you were walking through the grocery store and people saw your Tiger Hawk and said, "Go Hawks." That happened to me in Dublin. I was in the airport in Dublin, Ireland, and I'm walking through. I had my Hawkeye hoodie on, and I got my coffee, and I turn around, and this lady walks past me and just didn't even stop, just went, "Go Hawks." Yeah, hell yeah.
Well, it's kind of crazy you say that, because today I went out to get the mail out of my mailbox, and it says "Go Hawks" on Iowa, and I was like, who put that in my mailbox? But it was awesome. It was just a really good win for the Hawks. I'm glad that they did what they needed to do. However, one concern of mine is the special teams and that kicking game. I don't know what's going on with it, but something needs to to buckle down there. They need to hold the line there when it comes to the special teams.
Yeah, it's kind of a new thing to be a little bit inconsistent in that in that game for Hawkeye fans. So luckily we've got an expert here with us, so we'll ask him about it. Scott, thanks so much for the phone call, man. Go Hawks and enjoy your time out east.
All right, go Hawks.
Have a great week, buddy.
It's tough to be the expert on the year where they just start missing field goals.
And people are like, well, why?
So the missed field goal earlier in the game, what was it, 7-3? It would have made it 7-6.
Yep.
Right at bedtime, right? For the little girl.
For the littles. Yeah.
And she goes, she's like, I want some fruit snacks. And my wife is like dealing with the baby or something else. And I'm like, okay, I'll get you fruit snacks. I pause the game. She jumps off the couch, knocks the remote, takes us out of the entire app. So now I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go get fruit snacks. I'll come back. We'll see what happened. I come back. I walk in the room. Wife goes, Drew missed it. I'm like, oh my God. At this point, you've got the interception to start the game. You're just giving things away. You're missing a field goal. And that one was like 45, 46 yards. And I'm like, I can't do this. I can't keep showing up to these shows, these podcasts, these radio call-ins as the guy who's like, hey, what's up with the special teams this year? And I'm like, I don't know, brother. I do want to say something, though, that I want to make sure I work into this show. And that is a really, really underrated part about this team is that week after week, they've learned how to fight in different scenarios. And not many people are probably thinking about that Rutgers game out in Piscataway right now. But that game, I would say more than Iowa State, maybe more than Indiana. That game, we went down. Rutgers scored on us and put pressure on our offense in the second quarter, in the third quarter, and in the fourth quarter. Took the lead 14-7, 21-14, and then at one point 28-24. And we had to keep answering the bell. And there is something to a team figuring out how to win close ball games. And this team has been tested. Iowa State 3-point loss. Indiana was right there.
Yeah.
Got him out in Rutgers. Ended up being like a 10-point game, but still. That experience, that stick to it, bounce off the mat, hop up, offense, go get it done kind of thing, invaluable.
Yeah.
Valuable where maybe you don't believe that you as an 11-man unit can go do it. As they step to the line of scrimmage at 21-10, and Penn State, even though they're this year's Penn State, is across the way. But they've got proof that they went and did it. And so that Rutgers game is so important this year.
Tyler, they even said at one point in the broadcast, I think it was when it was that 21-10, the announcers even said, boy, the Hawkeyes find themselves in an unfamiliar position here, being down by a couple of scores in a Big Ten game.
Couple, yeah.
Yeah, and that confidence that comes with that, I love that. Invaluable. 515-517-2303. Our buddy Bus up in Webster City is going to join us next. Bus, thanks for calling into the Black and Gold Rush here in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you tonight, buddy?
Oh, great, fellas, and go Hawks, and thanks for the show. Carrying on a tradition here. A few years ago, I called in after the Illinois game, and Scooter, my dog, and I are out with the Yeti Ranger with an Oktoberfest, walking the sidewalks of Webster City and giving you a call. But and appreciate the show. Appreciate Tyler being on. Yeah. Great deal. Former Bobcat alum here, Tyler. So
let's go.
Although a lot older than you, I was a '76 alum. But Taco John's, Maid-Rights, and Zeno's forever, buddy. But I wanted to take advantage of Tyler being there. I really appreciate Washed-Up Walk-ons and the content, and particularly the background with the relationships with the coaches that they'll occasionally get into and stuff. Kirk tonight on both the second half come out of the tunnel interview on Peacock, accepted responsibility for the decision for the kick, said it shouldn't do it, had his guys' backs, and then in the post game again tonight, had everybody's backs, took it all on himself, and
even though I know there's some accountability with the unit and whatever. And I was fortunate enough to coach a young man up here who went on to play for Iowa a few years ago. I know he loves Kirk. He loves the coaches that he had there, the relationships with them. If Tyler could talk about, what it means to have a coach to stand up and know he's got your back, and then talk a little bit about the accountability piece, the corrections that are made, in the film sessions and how that goes about, I'd appreciate it. Thanks, fellas, and I'll listen.
Thanks, Bus. Talk to you soon, buddy.
What a call. Us, legend. So I imagine it's like this. Not I imagine, I have parents too. For those out there with good parents, good dad, good mom, and you look back on your childhood and you're like, yeah, man, they really did a lot for me. It might take a while too. It might be like one of those people who like that through your years, 18, 20, the frontal the cortex or whatever doesn't develop until you're 25. And you start realizing, holy shit.
Yeah.
Thanks, mom and dad. If you're fortunate enough, it's like that. You know that everything is done with your best interest in mind. You know that he leads from the top, and you've seen it work. When I got in there in 2013, James Morris, middle linebacker, should have had a much longer pro career if it weren't for injuries. Maybe one of the smartest football players I've ever been around. There was a players only sort of like powwow, one practice or 1 week. He just kind of talked about like his message was like, hey, follow the older guys. The older guys know how it's done. They saw the older guys before them, and all this comes down from the top from Coach Ferentz. And that guy's doing pretty well. Right? And all the other guys on the staff, for the most part, there's here and there, you get some guys that are like, they're not as much into it. But for the most part, and it's what Kirk does great, is he builds a staff with the same people, coming back to the people. And then they go out and recruit guys who are good people that come from good families. There's just no bullshit. You never have to, there's no house of cards that conversations or media interviews or the program in general is built on. You know that it's a solid foundation. And so that's how it feels. Like you can rely on that guy. He's going to fight. He's not Scott Frost, where Scott Frost is throwing guys under the bus when he's in his last couple of years in Nebraska. Yeah, he's never going to do that. It's why he was, people freaked out when he said something like, it was during those dark years of quarterbacks. And they're like, well, if we had to throw that guy out there, we would not be too happy about that. And they're like, oh, Kirk throwing the guy under the bus. I think it was Deuce Hogan.
Yeah.
There was a chance like 1 week where they're like, have you ever, he's like, nothing against Deuce, but if he has to be out there, we're in a bad spot. And they're like, whoa, and that's coming after a guy for Kirk. Like that's the only thing they can find on him. So yeah, it's just like that. It's like having a good parent, a great friend, somebody, the accountability. And then once you see it work, you're like, okay, I'll just do that. And we watched a video, Jocko Willink, former Navy SEAL. I think he was a SEAL. Maybe he was a Marine. I don't know. Has a great book called, it's about leadership or ownership. Oh God, what is it? Something ownership. And it's all about, it doesn't matter. It could be somebody else's fault. You take the blame.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. You move on, you get better. Extreme ownership is the book. And yeah, it's just when you set the foundation of a program like that, a lot of good things happen.
That's perfect, man. It's a top down. It all comes from up there. I love it. Extreme ownership, as Dusty says. 515-517-2303, Highway 92. That's where Joel is calling in from. Joel, thanks for calling into the Black and Gold Rush here in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you tonight?
Good. Thanks for having me on.
Yes, sir.
I was at the game tonight. It's a great environment. Better to come out on the winning side. It seems like the last few times we've been on the other side of those games. So felt good coming out of the stadium. But you talked a little bit earlier about, Brunkenmeyer making his first start. And I was just impressed with how I don't think Penn State had a single delay a game or false start penalty all game. And I know a lot of the more veteran Penn State teams with the Sean Cliffords, the Trace McSorleys, the stadium was just as loud tonight. And we, in those past years, have gotten 2 and 3 false starts,
Yeah.
In a row.
Great
against some of
call.
those teams.
You're right.
So he, although his stats weren't that good, he handled the team very well, and we weren't able to really rattle him from that perspective. But also, it seemed like, I think I was looking at the stats, there was about 79 rushing plays, obviously rush heavy tonight with both teams passing under 100 yards, and not a single holding penalty. So I just don't know if holding is just not emphasized anymore. Not that I noticed any that were, blatant.
Egregious, yeah.
It's hard for me to believe that, you run 79 running plays and not a single holding call. But yeah. And just one final thing. It was talked earlier about the 2-point conversion play. I thought we were chasing it, a little early there with like 4 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah.
And I don't have a problem going for 2 when it dictates it. I just don't think Iowa is a great 2-point conversion team in general. It's essentially a 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, and both of the plays we really had no chance. So I wish we would have had the throw at least in play to give our receiver a chance at potentially a 4th down. So I didn't know, and maybe Tyler would know this, like how many different 2-point plays do we have ready to go, at a moment's notice? Because it just seemed like tonight that I think we broke the huddle with about 10 seconds left. Each of the times just seemed a little hectic, and obviously it's a 2-point situation, so you don't always know you're going for 2 immediately. Obviously, you knew the second time that you had to go for 2, but it's a little hectic sometimes. We just don't seem like a team that's very adept at converting. We're not an Oregon or a team like that has all these plays at the tips of our fingers to maybe get 2 points. So I thought we chased it a little early, and it almost cost us. I'm glad it didn't, but we just seem like a team that probably should only go for 2 if we really have to, second half of the fourth quarter. But that's just kind of what I saw tonight.
Yeah. Like that, Joel. Appreciate it. Tyler, do you know how, I mean,
they got enough. Here's the issue is in that the nature of a 2-point conversion, like you said, it's 4th and 3. You got 1 shot. I agree with him. I wish that because it's not like you don't get another play after that. I wish Mark would have put that on the guys more. Yeah. The first one wasn't so bad down the middle of the tight end. Yep. The other one in the corner of the end zone was like, you got to get, if it gets picked, it gets picked. Like, who cares? Yeah. A lot of teams, I think you mentioned Oregon there, they got a lot. It just seems like they got a lot. The NFL, there's so many good NFL 2-point conversion plays. And the reason for that is elite speed. You need 3 yards. But they have to guard the whole end zone. And teams with elite speed, I think Tyreek Hill or the Ross kid that they had that transferred from Troy, or these guys that Oregon has. I mean, hell, we scored with Caden Weechin when we got down there.
Great point.
And that's our speed. That's our speed guy.
Yeah.
You misdirect, you put guys in motion, you get guys looking one way, coming back the other. Because if you can just take advantage of that first discrepancy in their reaction to what you're doing, that's 3 yards. After that, they catch up. Somebody peripheral jumps in. Good. They can come in. So speed kills when you're down on the 3 or in.
It's so funny, Tyler. I would have thought, oh, it's power. It's power, and I always got the offensive line. Did you see? And
3 yards is a lot though on a tush push or something like that.
That had a lot on a tush push. I did. Hold on, I want to see because I saw somebody post this here, and I'll just trust that Alex is right about this.
Wow.
Without that, Iowa's converted 1 2-point try since 2016. I don't know if that's right or not, but we're gonna trust it as fact.
I was gonna say
Alex.
the numbers. It seems like it's been a while since we've been successful at it, and I think your point, Tyler, is that the longer a 2-point play is drawn on, it's got to be a kind of a quick hitter, or it's hard to convert. And it's just those long drawn out plays with the field shrunk are kind of difficult for us if we can't hit it right off the bat.
Yeah, and the power stuff, Ross, is like, yeah, great, let's run it down their throat. But when the problem with that is the reaction for them, it's a little slower, and they don't have. They don't, if it's all of a sudden we run a fake and it's over their head and the guys run it, he's only got 10 yards to run out of the back of the end zone. Yeah. So they can crash heavy. They can just bring pressure. And even on a good schemed up zone run or some kind of pow, it's like they're going to muddy that thing up, and it's going to be tough to find space. I mean,
Joel, thanks a lot for the call. Appreciate it, sir.
We don't have Nate Stanley anymore just to give us 3 straight yards.
No, we don't.
I'd take that. But anyway, thanks, guys.
You bet, buddy. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much. We go next to John, who's calling in from I-80. John, thanks so much for giving us a call here on the Black and Gold Rush in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How are you tonight?
Oh, pretty good. Heading home. Ross, I know your sister real well, and your mom and dad, and even your brother. Your sister became a pastor at my church over on Northeast 14th, probably 15 years ago.
In Little Marcusville.
Marcusville.
Yeah, very cool, John.
She helped me turn my life around, and I even went and visited her in the hospital when she had her stuff going on, and love that woman. So.
John, thank you so much, man. We were talking about family earlier, and you know well that I'm a very blessed guy, man. Very, very blessed guy when it comes to family. My sister is an absolute angel in my eyes. So thank you for saying that.
Yeah, and your dad's a cool guy. So
The real deal.
But as far as the game goes, well, first my wife bought season tickets for us for our wedding. I don't know, that was 3-4 years ago.
Wow.
It's the first game she hasn't made it to. She really wanted me to get a friend to go with me, and all I can say is I love my family, but I look forward to heading to the game by myself today, all day, windows down and Pantera blaring. So I didn't look for a friend too hard. But the crowd tonight, I used to let the Hawks, whatever happened, it would turn to my week. As I got older, my day. Now I just want to go there, have a great atmosphere. That crowd was rocking tonight, and I felt like the crowd, we needed that win as fans. And then Kluver was kind of talking about the Morris story, and Kirk Barrett's great coach. I'm not going to be someone that cries when he leaves, or takes a shot of bleach or something. Great guy. You got players like Jacob Gill on the team. That guy probably could have left and felt like he could go catch passes somewhere, but he stayed at Iowa, knowing that his job as a wide receiver is going to be to block. And that, to me, just speaks volumes to a guy like Kirk Ferentz that can keep guys around. And I feel privileged as a fan to have a guy like Kirk Ferentz. And last thing I want to say is to Kluver. I've always listened to your show. I felt like when you were first kind of getting started as fans, when they call in or talk about it and be upset about the team's performance, you kind of, had an attitude of, well, you're not players. You don't know what we go through and all that. But I feel like as the years have gone by, you kind of got more in touch with the fans and how they feel about things. And I enjoy listening to your guys' show. So.
I always loved that about it, Tyler.
I appreciate that, man. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But,
John, thank you so much for this call, man.
Go Hawks.
Appreciate it so much, John.
Yeah.
Drive home safe, and I'll chat with you soon, sir.
All right, thank you.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
How about that? The last call, he brings out something that means a lot to both of us. Probably not me as much as you with your sister and stuff, but maybe when I do the podcast, it's my job, but I don't have coworkers. I don't have a boss. I don't get raises. I don't get bonuses. I figure
what you get.
I just kind of figured it out on my own. And when a guy calls in like that and says, you've gotten better over the last 7 years. And it goes back to what I was just saying. Time on the mic matters. I might feel the same and just can word it differently sometimes. I definitely have tried to be better at that stuff. And then when we started that podcast, man, I was 23.
Yeah.
With no kids.
And by the way, you were just out of the locker room. It was I loved it when you would say, again, I've always appreciated that perspective that you bring, Tyler.
And we knew everybody in the locker room, every coach. And when I mean, hard to say it wasn't this. Every time someone said something dumb, which there's a lot of dumb, it felt like an attack on your guys.
I totally get it, dude.
And
Totally
so
this is why it's hard when you become friends with the people that you're supposed to be talking about.
Mhm.
It really is hard because it's almost impossible for you to be critical because you know the human behind the eyes.
And a lot of people think I'm still not critical, and that's fine. I definitely am biased more towards like the optimism and stuff. But yeah, early on, we definitely had like a "fu," you don't know what you're talking about. A couple times it was like very needed and like hit. 90% of the time it didn't. And so guys like him who have stuck around, or I've had several who are like, I listened to this initially, wasn't for me, came back around years later because you're still here, and now I'm into it. That's fun stuff.
Let's wrap up these final 3 calls here, and then we'll get out of here. Steve is calling in from Highway 20. We'll churn and burn through these last couple calls quickly. Steve, thanks for giving us a call on the Iowa Lottery Studios and the Black and Gold Rush. How are you?
We're doing great. Anytime we beat Penn State 6-4, 25-24, it's a great night.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
And first and second of all, the walk-ons is only done better because of Grant. Can't get enough of Grant.
Agree.
Shout out to him.
Agreed.
He makes the show.
Agree.
And I tell you, these guys are gritty. They get punched in the mouth, they come back. They get punched in the mouth, they come back. Then you got a guy with a bum knee says, "Give me the ball, I'll get you a first down." I love it. They're going to go a long ways.
Like the attitude, Steve. Thanks so much for the phone call, sir. Have a great week and go Hawks.
A team often resembles its leaders.
Dude, there's a top-down thing that happens. The teams.
Mark Gronowski is about as gritty as you get. And there's
I like
some gritty,
that.
And there's some gritty guys on that staff too. Yeah.
Let's go to Senorita Puffer. Senorita Puffer, thanks so much for calling in to the Black and Gold Rush here in the Iowa Lottery Studios. How was your Saturday?
It was great. Thank you. And happy National Xavier Wampa Day. Just wanted to say that.
Guys played the best 3-game stretch of his life.
Sorry.
Yeah. After a little bit. Yeah. Great way to put it, Tyler.
He's making good hits. My last thing, and then I'll hang up and listen to you guys talk because this might be a little controversial, but during the pregame, the Peacock people interviewed the interim head coach of Penn State, and he said the last thing he said to his team before they played was empty the clip. And it just left me like a little uneasy, and I just wanted to throw that out there and see what people thought. And I'll hang up. Bye.
Thanks, Senorita Puffer. Appreciate that. And I think for some context here, Senorita Puffer is a Spanish teacher here in Central Iowa.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Sometimes those sports cliches bother me as well. I've never liked the comparison to battle.
We're going to war.
Yeah, my dad was a Vietnam veteran, and so it was like, well, that's not what this is.
Yeah.
That's not what this is. I get it that you're trying to motivate your guys and gel your guys. The references to war and things like that, I can see how people hear that and kind of cringe a little or take it a little differently than other folks. So I wouldn't think too much of it, Senorita Puffer. I think it's a coach saying something that he's not. Again, he's engaged in just a different lexicon in that moment.
Well, and there's a different. The audience that's being said to is the exact one that understands what he's saying and that kind of. She called in and said that. I'm like, oh hell yeah, empty the clip, baby. That's the kind of shit you hear a coach say, and you're like. It's like that, and that's the spot that guy is in right now.
Right. He's got to get them into that mindset.
Here's another one. He's rallying the troops.
Right.
It's just they're all sayings. There's nothing deeper than that. Not one player on that team heard it and goes, "Hell yeah, we're just gonna unload on these guys." Just AK-47. Like we're, like it's not that deep. But totally understand the trigger. It's definitely
Total. Appreciate the call, Senorita Puffer. And our last phone call tonight will go to Marshalltown, our buddy Booker. What's up, Booker? Thanks for calling into the Black and Gold Rush. How are you, buddy?
What's going on, boys? Love your show.
Thank you so much, man.
Man, I'm sitting here in my car, hiding in the garage. I've been drinking all day. my wife's trying to get me to come inside. And I'm like, no, I got to call into the show.
There you go.
Well, there you go. This is it, man. How do you feel about tonight?
You know what? I feel all right, but it's already a Pirate Geese. Quit being a vagina.
Dude, you just got to listen. Everybody's different, and it's okay when people react to things different. It's okay to have a conversation. It's okay to have a conversation about it, Booker. No, we got to quit calling names. We got to quit calling names when we disagree with somebody and call them babies and all that stuff.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Tone down.
I'm out of line. No, you're right. Hey, you know what? I really called in to ask my boy Tyler Kluver a question. To be honest with you. So you saw the block kick that got run back for a touchdown. I was just wondering, were you ever a part of something like that? Like, did you ever screw up or have something blocked, or like, what's your greatest story of just like the biggest screw up in your career in Iowa? And that's. I apologize to everybody I offended. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called people vagina.
You're good. Man, maybe not something like that. We had a couple kids.
I love you, Kluver.
Love you too,
baby.
Love you too, buddy. I'll try to give you a good answer to make this the finale. Fortunately, again, it's been a topic of conversation. Everyone's coming out. They're like, I don't remember it being this bad when you were there, Kluver. I had a couple guys that made me look good. Like I had my fair share of, maybe to the naked eye, to the layman in the stadium who doesn't know special teams that closely. Like, good snap, good hold, good kick. There's more to that, obviously. Film room never lied. There's plenty of bad snaps. My worst three, right? We got absolutely shellacked in Minneapolis, similar to last night for the Huskers in 2014. It was like 55-0. They had a tight end score like 3 touchdowns. I threw a high ball somehow to 6'7" punter Connor Cornbrath, and that got tipped because I delayed the operation. Not the end of the world. We were going to lose that game anyway. Number 2, in the sun, Dylan Kidd against Northwestern 2014, same season. I sent one at his face, should have been caught, but he's looking into the sun, skipped off his helmet, and he had to run back and fall on it. The one that everyone will remember is when we beat Michigan, 2016. Ron Caluzzi took off the other way on a punt. And it was mostly because I sent him a snap that he didn't feel like he could bring down and get to his foot and kick in time. The result of that play ended up being a unsportsmanlike conduct roughing the punter because the guy had a weird angle. He wasn't ready for it. And this massive edge rusher kind of slipped, half tackled Ron Caluzzi and went head to head with him, and we got a first down out of it. Wild. I got bailed out so hard. That thing either gets blocked or they just have it at our 40-yard line. Instead, we get a first down. I don't remember if we scored or not, but we at least extended the drive. Ooh. But yeah, I skedaddled out of Iowa City after 4 years of playing with no major. The biggest blunder is me tripping on the 5-yard line.
Man, you were so close to glory.
I was close.
It's all right. It's your Moonlight Graham moment.
It's still glory for me. Still
yeah,
feels like
buddy. Yeah, you got. Yeah, Travis and I were sharing our glory stories. Yeah, Travis was at least a varsity player that won a state championship and contributed. He was the starting quarterback for his high school team.
That's great.
Well, I was the best baseball player on the debate team.
That's not the first time you used that.
And the best debater on the baseball team. So 2 for 2, baby.
I'm the best debater of the Ross debaters.
There you go. It's a low
I'm not,
bar.
actually. I'm 27.
Tyler, thank you so much for tonight, man. This was
Absolutely.
a ton of fun. Somebody asked how many calls we had. I came up with a total of 34 tonight.
Wow.
It's so amazing that we're able to do this, and it blows away the numbers that we were always able to pull in because of these long formats. So thank you guys so much for being a part of this and tuning in. Tyler, again, thanks for doing this. Big thanks to Owen Justice. Owen has been our unsung hero here tonight. He's actually the guy that's been screening calls. He got us all set up to be able to do this tonight.
Legend.
He's truly been producing for us tonight, and big thank you for that, Owen. Great appreciation. Travis will be back with us next weekend. I will be live from Las Vegas next weekend.
Wow.
That's going to be a good time, and it'll make for fun call, and we hope to hear from all of you at that point. Until then, we'll be on with the Morning Rush starting Monday morning. Catch the Washed-Up Walk-ons. I'm sure they're going to have a great breakdown of this game and some wonderful insight like they always do, and we will chat with you next week here on the Black and Gold Rush live from the Iowa Lottery Studios.